The Pittock Mansion is a French Renaissance-style chateau in the West Hills of Portland, Oregon. The mansion was built in 1914 as a private home for London-born Oregonian publisher Henry Pittock and his wife, Georgiana Burton Pittock. It is a 46-room estate built of Tenino sandstone situated on 46 acres. It was here that the couple lived, along with generations of their family, until the late 1950s. The main floor is a showplace of architectural styles. Here is the library, which featured dark wood-paneled interiors influenced by medieval and Renaissance designs. Notice the recessed ceiling lighting, an innovation for 1914. Do you see the blue P there? Things marked with the P are pieces that belong to the Pittock family. You will see those throughout the video. The Pittocks were a musical family, frequently attending concerts supporting Portland's small but growing music scene. The Pittocks probably owned a phonograph player, but had grown up in an era of live music when families made their own. After studying piano and voice with the local teachers, daughters Lucy and Kate attended the Pittsburgh Conservatory of Music. Notice how the light from the chandelier reflects off the metallically painted ceiling. An avid outdoorsman and adventurer, Pittock is credited to have been the first white man to ascend the summit of Mount Hood on July 11, 1857. Note the curvature of the corridors or hallways between the rooms. The floor plan follows a circular type structure centering around the center stairwell. A smoking room was standard in luxurious homes. Men and women withdrew to separate spaces after dinner, the men to smoke and drink, and the women to chat. The lack of tobacco staining suggests the Pittocks rarely smoked. What an intricate and beautiful gown. Perhaps it was a wedding dress. The mansion came equipped with an intercom system throughout the house, so they could just buzz each other from room to room or call the servants. Here in the kitchen is a state-of-the-art stove at that time. And here is a piece of the original tiling. These are reproductions. This is the refrigerator room, where food could be chilled at various low temperatures. It is one of the earlier refrigeration systems. And this is the breakfast room. Here is a lovely painting of Oregon's Multnomah Falls. The home is resplendent with all sorts of beautiful paintings. Here is Georgiana Pittock, the lady of the house. This is Georgiana Pittock's room. In 1914, it was typical for wealthy people to have a suite with separate bedrooms for husband and wife. What an amazing view she had. Here is her bathroom. Note the hair washing sink faucet. And the quite elaborate steam shower. This is the dressing room. Next, we will enter the bedroom of the Pittock's youngest daughter, Helen, quote, Lucy, unquote, Pittock Gantenbein. She married John Edward, quote, Ed, unquote, Gantenbein in 1908 after a long engagement over 7 years. They had 3 children, and the youngest, Peter, who was born in the mansion and never married, lived in the house off and on throughout his life. He was the last to leave the mansion in 1958. This area is called the sleeping porch. People would sleep out here to either enjoy the cool air, or in cases where people had tuberculosis, they would be prescribed fresh air and rest. And this is the children's room, which was Peter's room, the grandson that I had mentioned earlier. This is the sewing room. I took a picture from the internet to show you what it looks like without so much Christmas decoration, because you really can't see it for what it is. And this is the very first edition of the Oregonian. This is Henry Pittock. He left home at the age of 17 and arrived barefoot and without a cent in the Oregon Territory in 1853. He found work as a typesetter for the Oregonian, where he was provided with room and board and no pay. He went from that to become the richest man in Portland, Oregon. Quite an amazing feat. He ended up acquiring the Oregonian newspaper. He was a partner in the first paper mill in the Northwest in Oregon City and later acquired a second mill, and eventually would include investments in Portland's banks, real estate, transportation, logging, and lumber. Beautiful bathroom. My friend Sarah accompanied me to the Pittock mansion after he went to an estate sale, which you can see in another video. That home was lived in by the Pittock family as well. It was a marvelous estate. I'll leave the link for that in the information down below. It was in this room that Georgiana's 2 orphan nieces lived for a while in the mansion. This room belonged to the Pittock's daughter, Kate. Here is another sleeping porch, which was used when a person was sick. Experts recommended that children and adults alike spend their nights on a sleeping porch throughout the year. Kate Pittock used this office to manage household accounts and staff and help her father as his private secretary. Kate made telephone calls using one of Portland's 2 competing telephone companies, Home Telephone Company and Pacific Telephone, and telegraphs to call any phone within the city. The Pittocks needed both systems, requiring 2 types of phones and 2 directories. Here is a lovely painting of Oregon's Crater Lake. Note how you can peek through the banisters and see all the way down to the bottom floor. I love looking at all the details in the woodwork. Absolutely gorgeous. Here is the dumbwaiter, which was for servants who would otherwise have to carry food, serving trays, clean laundry, and other household supplies up and down the back stairs. The Pittock Mansion seems to always have an exhibit going, and right now the exhibit is about Elizabeth Barcus, an Oregon artist. Elizabeth Barcus was born in Salt Lake City in 1857 and moved to Portland in 1880 with her second husband, John Barcus. Here she studied painting with well-known landscape painter William Samuel Parrott for a short period before embarking on her own artistic career. She quickly found critical and commercial success when her husband died in 1899 after a period of declining health. Elizabeth Barcus became the sole breadwinner for herself and her 3 children at a time when economic opportunities for women remained limited. Barcus leveraged her critical success as an artist to find innovative and boundary-pushing ways to advance her artistic career and support her family. After just 4 years in the mansion, Georgiana passed away, with Henry following her to the grave the next year in 1919, dying of influenza. It was reported that he had himself carried to the east bay window of his mansion to look once more at the vista across the city. This home is referred to as the Skeen residence. The Pittock's chauffeur, Herman Hawkinson, and his wife Helen were this house's first occupants, moving in after it was built in 1914. After they moved out, the estate's steward, James Skeen, and his wife Marjorie lived in this 4-story Italianate-style home from 1918 to 1953. Their daughter Marjorie grew up here. A jack of all trades, James maintained the grounds and greenhouses, ordered bulbs and flowers for the spring garden, managed a gardener, repaired plumbing and household machinery such as the elevator and automobiles, and sometimes acted as a chauffeur. He even attached a snowplow blade to his Packard car to clear the road of snow. Marjorie was a homemaker and raised their daughter. In addition to James's monthly wages, the Skeens had the 2,400 square foot Gate Lodge to themselves. At a time when retaining good help was increasingly challenging, a house like this encouraged good, loyal service. This was Marjorie's room. She was born in 1920 and lived here until her marriage in 1945. Marjorie recalled that on summer nights she could hear the lions roar at the zoo, located on the hills south of the property. It was a tea house run by the Junior League in the 1980s and 90s, but was restored to its original look in 2001 to 2003. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the tour, and I hope you like my video, and if you do, perhaps you'll give me a like, and maybe even subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.